And we're live. Hi everybody, my name is Laura Hall and you are on the Come Cook With Me show. Today we are making a really awesome recipe. I think you're going to absolutely love it. But before we get started, one of the things that I always like to do in our community is remind everyone that if you say hello, who you are and where you're from, you'll get entered to win our grand prizes. So let me, I just realized I have one spice. I was looking over here and I have one spice that I'm missing. So let me grab that over here in the kitchen while we have people coming on. Okay. So I don't know if you were paying attention, but last week we talked about doing another Instapot giveaway. And so if you had shared the show, if you hit that share button and you shared the show, you're actually entered to win the Instapot. So at the end of the show, we'll be doing that. And I have all of the entries in this hat. They're all in here for all of the people who shared, and we'll be giving that away. But also, when you say hello, who you are, and where you're from, you get entered to win our Dano spices. And we use Dano spices. These are them. This is a gentleman on our team, Dan Oliver, and he's created these spices. There we go. Yeah, they're yummy. They're fabulous. And so if you just say hello, who you are, where you're from, you get entered to win that as well. So the person who won the spices last week is, let's see, Tina Anderson. So congratulations, Tina. You won the spices. I'll send you a quick message and get those off to you. And I still have to get into the mail last week's winner too, so I haven't forgotten. It's just been one of those crazy weeks. So, all right, so what we want to do is we're going to get started cooking. We're going to be making Mexican quinoa. Now, it's going to be your choice. You can just use the recipe with the vegetables and the quinoa. It's wonderful. Or if you want to add a meat, you can add chicken, you can add shrimp, you can actually even add beef. So it's really going to be your choice. Today in the recipe, I'm calling for chicken, but again, I know some of you are going to be adding what you want, and those that want to stay vegan, you're not going to add anything, right? Okay, so what you want to do is get your Instapot started. You're going to start with the saute. And remember, for those of you who are just joining, if you're just new to the show and you haven't seen it before, we also do the Instapot, and then we also have the slow cooker. So the slow cooker it's really hot, I can't pick it up, but the same recipe is being cooked in the slow cooker. So why do we do that? Well, that's how the show gets started, but I'll get to that in just a minute. Go ahead and hit saute on your Instapot, and we're gonna let that get heated up a little bit. We'll put some avocado oil in it while it's getting hot. You can use extra virgin olive oil if you prefer. I just am using avocado oil for this particular recipe. And you want to coat the bottom of your Instapot. Perfect. So if you're new to this show, one of the things that when we started doing this show, oh, by the way, hello, what was I thinking? Today is our anniversary. 1 year ago, we started with this cooking show. I can't even believe it. It's our cooking show anniversary, and I didn't have my music man. My music man went outside, and he couldn't get the music to be working because his computer needed an update. And long story, so I said, you know, I'm just going to go live. We're not going to have any music. It's all right. But in all of what was going on, I was just like, oh, I just realized it's our anniversary show. So happy anniversary to all of those people who have tuned in for the last 52 weeks and caught the show. So with that, when we started the show, one of the things that happened was we were using an Instapot, and someone said, you know, there was a comment about something being said. This is one of the earliest shows, and I said, you know, I started off with cooking in a crock pot my whole life. That's what I've always done with the kids and the family growing up, and that was the easy way to make a meal. But then when I got an Instapot, well, it actually wasn't an Instapot, it was a pressure cooker. Instapot, some kind of pressure cooker, I can't remember the name of it, an express something. Bottom line is, I said, why don't we compare the recipes? And ever since we did that, that's how the show kind of started. So we always do the same recipe, cook it the same way, and see which one wins. And so the Instapot, obviously, it takes very little time to cook, whereas the crock pot or slow cooker could take 6 to 8 hours in any particular recipe, and some even longer. But the Instapot, it takes away all of the time, that whole time element. So, and every week, there's not one better than the other. It's just sometimes the flavors are better in the Instapot, and sometimes the flavor can be better with the slow cooker. So it's just fun to compare. All right, that's hot. So what we want to do is add our onion and our celery. Put those in. I can't believe it's our anniversary show. And we want to add our garlic as well. So in the beginning of the recipe, I talked about where you want to roast your garlic. So I roasted the garlic and then I diced it up, chopped it up. So you want to add that in as well. So we're going to let this one saute for about 4 minutes. And I went ahead and I've got a half of a red and half of a green diced pepper. Go ahead and add that. And I have 2 jalapenos chopped up. And yes, for us, we love to keep the spice intact. So they have the seeds in them. If you want it less spicy, take the seeds out. Oh, starting to smell yummy. And then I have half of a Pablano pepper. And this one I did not roast. And we just diced it up. Oh, it's looking pretty as well. I can show it to you. It's not too hot. It's really looking great. Take a look. Yeah. Hello. Making sure I'm not sideways. Laura, your recipes are awesome. Thank you, Kelly. How are you? Hey, Catherine. How are you? Good to see you. Okay, so while that's sauteing, I'm going to go ahead and add some of the spices in. So we're going to start off with our chipotle peppers. So one of the things that I like to do is, I'm trying to get it so you can read it. Okay, so we always buy the spices that are non-GMO, so you look for the non-GMO symbol, and you want to look for organic. Why? Well, because it's all about, toxins in our body and how we don't want to have toxins in our body. So when you buy non-GMO, you're not getting genetically modified food, which is good for you. You don't want to have that. Oh gosh, that chipotle just smells amazing. Okay, and we're going to add in some hot Hungarian paprika. Oh, I wish you could all smell this. This is just so awesome. Between the garlic and the savoriness of the celery. So we have some whole coriander seed. Just a little bit of that. And I know some of you are, if you're watching for the first time, you know that, or if you're watching for the first time, you don't know, but I don't actually measure my spices. I go for what it looks like, but I did put what the amount is that you want to have in the comments. In the actual recipe. And then we have the herbs of the Providence. Hey, Deanna. Boy, when I keep my glasses on, I can see who's all joining us. It's great to see you. And then we have our Japanese 7 spices. Love this particular recipe, or spice. Hey, Lauren. Great to see you. Mmm. Oh, that's so yummy. And then we have some ground cumin. So if you're just joining the show, don't forget to say hello, who you are, where you're from. And then we have some black pepper, black ground pepper. And then we have some oregano. You've got to make this, yes, Deanna. It is so good. It's really good. And you don't have to have the meat. If you don't want to have the meat, it's really good. And then we're going to put some Cajun seasoning in. Hello, Emmett. And then finally we have some ground cumin. And we're going to put a little bit of the pink Himalayan salt in. And then we're going to put a little bit of the Dano spices. Now you can choose between the spicier one or the savory. And what I love about Dano's, this Dan Oliver, is a member on our health and wellness team. He uses our products, but what's really awesome is he's created these incredible spices. You can actually buy the jumbo ones. When I run out of these, when these get empty, I just bought a jumbo one for the kitchen, so I'm really excited about it. But they're low sodium, huge flavors. There's no sugar, they're gluten-free, no MSG, and there's no GMO in any of these spices. These are amazing. And you can get them from Kentucky. They're Kentucky proud. And if you don't live in Kentucky, you can write into Dan, go on his website, and actually get them. Oh, this is just lovely. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and add in our crushed tomatoes and our diced tomatoes. I'm going to go ahead and hit cancel, turn off the saute feature, and I'm going to add in the diced tomatoes and then the crushed tomatoes. And I'll show them to you here as well. One of the most important things when you're buying canned vegetables, anything that's canned, is you want to find labels on it that look like that. Non-PBA. Also, you want to make sure that they're organic and no GMO. And so the PBA, let's talk about that. I talk about this every week, but our PBA lining is bisphenol A, and it's a lining that they used to put inside of cans to, I don't know, protect the vegetables from, I guess, having a longer shelf life. But what they're finding is that bisphenol A is an endocrine disruptor, and it's not good for our bodies. So you always want to look for those labels that say non-PBA. So we had, I love this particular brand, Mira Glen. We had organic crushed tomatoes, and we had organic diced tomatoes. One full can of each. Okay, and then next you're going to add 1 box of the bone broth. I like this one. You can use a vegetable if you want to stay vegan and you're not going to add any meat. You can actually use a vegetable broth. Imagine makes this one. There's all kinds of great bone broths and vegetable broths out there. I just like this particular brand. Oh, wonderful. Okay. And we're going to add in a half a bag of baby lima beans and corn. It was good because it's just a half a bag for each, so I was able to share the first half of the bag in there, which is great. And then you want about 1/3 of a cup of cilantro, and I've got that chopped. That in. And I'm using 2 chicken breasts, so I've got 2 chicken breasts here. Hey Stephanie, hello Kelly. I've got 2 chicken breasts here, so I've diced those up, cubed it up. Put that in. opened it up. And I'm just gonna add the whole bag in here. And I picked a red quinoa. I'll show it to you in just a minute. Stir that in. Oh, that is just gonna be delicious. So great. So I picked a red quinoa. It's certified organic, gluten-free, non-GMO, just wonderful. Show that to you. Okay, perfect. That's how simple this recipe is. That's it. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna set it to pressurize. We're gonna set it to cook for, you can do 2 to 3 minutes. You really don't, I'm gonna go ahead and hit 2 minutes on it. But you want to make sure that when you put your lid on, make sure that the seal is not venting, it's in the off position. Lock it in place. And then we're going to hit manual. And we only need to have, well, I'm going to go ahead and do two minutes. If you open it up and the quinoa isn't as fluffy as you'd like it, you can feel free to add 1 more minute to it. But I'm just gonna go ahead and do 2 minutes. It should be perfect. And that's it. It's so simple. Okay, so how we're gonna serve it, that just says that it started, is we're gonna make a cilantro lime sauce. So you wanna get a blender, and you're gonna get go ahead and put that right there. I'm gonna go ahead and chop up some cilantro. You can have the stems in this as well. It's going to be delicious. I'm going to make a little bit more than what my recipe up above calls for because we're feeding a lot of people today. We have about 7 or 8 people coming for dinner. And want to have enough sauce for everybody. So I've got 2 jalapenos in there. I'm going to go ahead and use the entire lime. It's so yummy. Just squirting everywhere. And you can use a mayonnaise, you can use yogurt. I'm going to be using a dairy-free yogurt. And you want to have a few cubes of your roasted garlic cloves. And we're going to use a little bit of salt. And I'm using the almond milk, the Kite Hill almond milk yogurt. When you drizzle this sauce on top of your serving size, you can also add some avocado. We're going to add some avocado to it as well. So I'm just going to blend that up. That's what it looks like. I'm going to blend it up over here after the show is over. And then I'm going to put it actually in the refrigerator to get a little cold. Okay. And that's it. I'll show some pictures when it's all done. So we actually have a winner that we need to pick for the Instapot. I can't believe how fast the show was. I mean, it's just quick, but it's a Mexican theme tonight. All right, well, we're gonna have somebody, a lucky winner in here. I wish one of the boys would come in from outside. They're throwing the football. So I was gonna have them pick the winner, but they're outside. Hey, Charlotte. Hi, Benjamin. All right, good luck, everybody. I'm excited for you. Okay, just take one. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Rosanna, you are the winner, and you just shared that today. I can't believe it. Rosanna, congratulations. I met Rosanna yesterday at the Apropos fashion show, and we started talking, and we talked about having Rosanna come on to the show. So this is so exciting. I am so excited for you. So if you're watching, Rosanna, congratulations. And if you're going to catch it after the show ends, well, I'll be calling you. I'll be sending you a message. So that's it. That's the show for today. It's funny that the history of this show, we started the very first show. If anybody who remembers what the first show was, it was making our salsa and guacamole. And we were actually, it's fun to make. I already made the salsa a couple of days ago. I'm going to be making guacamole next for dinner tonight. And we've got a whole host of wonderful things that are going to be happening. But this, I think you're going to absolutely love. This is a wonderful, wonderful recipe. So simple, so easy. I hope you enjoy it. And thanks for joining. Thanks for catching the show. I'm so very blessed for everyone that keeps coming back. So have a wonderful weekend, and we'll see you next week. Okay, have a great one.